Alright, welcome back everyone. We're playing God of War 1. This time we're doing it on the hardest difficulty. This particular entry is called God difficulty, although it changes to different difficulties. Thank you all for tuning in. We're doing a very special episode with my commentary this time. So we're doing this part, Challenge of Hades, with the balls rolling at you, as you can probably tell. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to the end of the hall, even though you don't have to, because there's some stuff you can get. And then I have to do the annoying part where you have to open the door with the things coming at you. Alright, getting close to the end there. Apologize in advance if you hear any annoying breathing or swallowing, anything like that. I try not to do that stuff too much, but you might hear a little bit of it. I don't think a lot of people are going to be watching this anyways. Alright, so we've got these guys. If you ever see me do the Cyclone of Chaos, 99% chance I did it by accident. So these enemies are quite mundane, although they can still get you. Alright, so, shit. You can see I'm trying to get some collision damage in here. It's a good spot for that with a very small space. Not a lot of room to miss. Collisions in this game are quite good. As you probably already know if you're watching this video, collision is just when you can throw an enemy into another enemy and cause damage that way. Might as well top up my health since I'm not coming back this way. So let's see if I can do this. It's very aggravating. I do not like this opening the door part at all, and I already took damage. So if I get hit one more time, and I don't even remember exactly which one it is. I think it's the third one from the back. It's definitely on this side. I gotta get a good go at it. Because you gotta press the button really fast. If it's the R2 button, which I don't think is the... there we go. I found the right one first try. Good job. Okay, so these Minotaurs here. I got some collision damage there with the Orion's Harpoon. I'm almost positive you could wring them out, but I might be mistaken. My talking is kind of distracting me, so I got killed there. The Minotaurs in this game, God of War 1 specifically, you can launch them and do an air grab into an infinite, which will kill them, but launching them is not the easiest thing in the world to do, at least for me. Maybe there's some trick to it that I'm not aware of. See, I launched the one behind me that time. Let's see if I can... I'm probably gonna die. My health is so low. There's health back there. Let's see if I end up being able to get it. I'm just gonna try to wring them out with Orion's harpoon here. See if I can do that. I'm pretty sure you can also line them up pretty easy to petrify them if I just wanted to. But I want to try to wring them out, but they're very resistant to these launches. Alright, I'm gonna not worry about it and just kill them. These particular... switch to the Medusa's Gaze. These particular Minotaurs are pretty hard. They're kind of color-coded. There's ones in Athens at the beginning of the game that are very easy. These ones are blue. I know I've also seen like... I got him. I can get some easy collision damage on this guy with these, although the aiming is weird. See, I didn't have an option to switch around with that other gun. There I did. I didn't mean to do that. To grab him. I mentioned before in a previous video where I did commentary that the archers in this game are very annoying. And I still am of the opinion that they are. They shoot these exploding arrows. Like, it's not just that they shoot you, it's that... See, did not mean to do that there. It's not just that they shoot you, it's that their arrows stick in the ground and explode after a certain period of time. Fuck. Fucking up. Taking damage. You can probably see I love the square triangle. I use that all the time. I was able to get a launch out of that time. I'd like to hear what some of the vets, God Mode God will say about the launching of these guys after he finally gets around to this video. Ooh, I got lucky, like, one more second, like one split second and I would have gotten hit there. That was not a good, I was way too close to have used that there. Alright, so go this way or that way, I forget which way progresses the game. So let's just try this way. Yeah, there we go. See, the archers are not armored. Ooh, I was able to ring them out. Ring outs are my favorite way to kill enemies in these games in general. Because you get to bypass their entire health bar at once. So I guess I'll get health here. So let's do it this way. I'm pretty sure this is that awful part where you have to walk along the beams. This is another part I don't really like. Or is there a rope combat section? I don't like these either. If you saw my last video, and earlier in this video, I'm terrible at the rope sections in this particular tree. And I'm not really the biggest fan of them either way. You can cheese them that way. I learned that trick recently, although I should have been able to figure it out. I've fought them, like led them to the edge and just killed them the normal way many times. Didn't think to use the gaze on them. I think you might get extra orbs for doing it. I don't know if you get them. Yeah, excuse me. I don't know if you get them for them falling. Oh, you do. Okay, great. And also in the later games, you can press X and Kratos will like move along faster. This one doesn't have it, so if you press X, you just fall to your death. And here's the parts that are hard. You have guys coming from both directions. I was able to do it. I've practiced enough that I can get down. His kicks come out really quickly, so if you do it right, you can get him without taking any damage. Okay, so these guys here, you fight these guys all the time. See, I'm not doing very good in the game. And ideally you can do like that where you get like a series of grab prompts. They have a few attacks there. I got a good hit there with the original. Alright, so you can also get good collisions from launching to Orion's harpoons. The Minotaurs, Centaurs are going to come out. I think you can ring them out here. I'm not sure if I'm going to really spend too much time trying, since this is not a challenge run or anything. And I don't really like the Centaurs in general. Well, it's not that I dislike them, they're just very difficult.
Let the rage of the gods drive your blades.
I think these Centaurs are easily just as hard, maybe even harder than the God of War 3 version, which I think might reappear in God of War Ascension. I don't know. I bought God of War Ascension the day it came out, beat it the week it came out, returned it or sold it or something, and never went back. I really dislike it. And I might die here. There's some. Oh, I got Rage. See, I'm playing it safe with a little health there. Switch. The switching of the targets on the. I got him killed. I really, like I said, centaurs are some of my worst. I guess that's just magic, which I should have got. But I thought it was going to change to health. I'm playing very conservatively, just keeping them at long range because I'm like one hit away from dying. What I'm going to do, what's that called? I know all the moves have names. I don't generally think of them by their names, like, you know, square, square, triangle. This is the Plume of Prometheus. There's names for all of them. I just can't remember them. That, I think, is called, like, Valor of Hercules or something like that. See here, on the hardest difficulty, the enemies do have quite a bit of health. And they do a lot of damage. And a lot of enemies in this game have, like, what I call spaz attacks, where their attacks, they'll, like, lull you into a false sense of security by making you think that you've got them down, and then their attacks, they'll have an attack that comes out really quickly. Ares, you'll see at the end of the game, has something like that. I should get some health back from killing Minotaur. I don't know if you get more red orbs from killing the Minotaurs this way, but you definitely get some health back, which is great. Nobody likes dying. God, this game has some jank with the grabbing too. There have been so many times playing this game that I have just like wrapped my arms directly around him, and for no reason I can tell, he does not do the grab. Okay, so set Rage. Tempted to just petrify this guy and move on, but I think I can get it. You may also notice when I do the parry and do the reverse, like here, I just am so used to always hitting the square. I know there's also a triangle version, which is probably better in a lot of circumstances. So yeah, I've got the fully upgraded blades, and he's taking a lot of damage. So I like to petrify the Minotaurs or ring out, but I'm not really that great at ring outs. I've done some challenge runs in the past. God of War 1 specifically, I've done a no upgrades run and a no upgrades run plus, but those were a really long time ago. Okay. Let's look at my upgrades. What have I got? Guess I'll get Poseidon's Rage next, although I want to upgrade that Medusa's Gaze because I use it a lot. And I'm planning on doing a playthrough of God of War 2 after this. I don't know if it's going to be immediately after this or if I'm going to try to do a challenge run of 1, probably just a regular no upgrades run next. I'll probably do 2 next just to switch it up a little bit. Let's play a little more. I've got nothing to do right now. What's this way? Just pots. Well, yeah, when I play God of War 2, yeah, this is the part that's I really dislike, and a lot of people who play this game dislike it. I'm going to try to just power through it. Can't remember, there's some chests you can get. But in God of War 2, I'm going to try to emphasize the weapons magic that I don't usually use. Like, I don't usually use Typhon's Bane that much. I know you can do a lot of cool things with it. I've used it some. I know you can do Typhon's Bane tricking with it, where you get invincibility frames from pulling it out. I've never... That's something you do, like, in a general Kratos Pain Plus with the Barbarian Hammer against Zeus. I believe that's the only way you can avoid his lightning throw attack. And I've always liked Euryal's Gaze, or Euryal's Head, whatever that was called. And I use it quite often, but usually I upgrade other things. You know, I've always loved Kronos' Rage. That's been my favorite God of War 2 magic since the game came out. So generally I'm, you know, investing in that if I'm investing in magic at all. And in general, I invest in my weapons over magic, just because you use the weapons all the time, while magic is a limited resource. Although good magic can win you a fight. But I was saying, this next time I play God of War 2, I'm going to focus on Typhon's Bane and Head of Euryale more than the Kronos' Rage and Atlas Quake, which do the big area damage. But when it comes to the protecting the translator, I always use Atlas Quake just because it provides you a lot of control. You know, the guys are about to hit the translator and you're not in position, but you can hit the Quake and it will bounce everybody up. I think you could even get collisions with that. Alright, I think, let's go over here. Yeah, that might be a... If it's just red orbs, I don't really care that much, but if it's a real thing, like a feather or an eye, which I can't remember. Not just orbs, not even me. I don't really like these big beam balancing sections. They're okay. They're not the worst thing in the world. But I rather just fighting. Especially on a replay, like when you played this game a bunch of times like me, and probably most of the people watching this video, this section is not really very thrilling. I'm glad I got through it on the first try without dying much time. Alright, so the last part of this Trial of Hades, Challenge of Hades, whatever it's called, is to fight this Minotaur, who's real big. Ooh, I'm not going to have full health because I got that chest earlier, but that's okay. Starts, he's going to come out. You can fight him on the ground, but I always found that more difficult. I'm going to fight him up on this platform back here. I forget, do you have to pull the thing to make him come out, or do you have to go over to the door? I don't remember. It's one of those. Let's just try pulling the thing. Alright, nothing. Alright, he's coming out. The cutscenes are in a completely different resolution than the rest of the game because I'm playing on an emulator. Again, I'm playing in 4K, which I don't know if the video is actually in 4K or not. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so I'm going to go back here, go up to the platform. Okay, so I know there's a sweet spot that you can use here, because I've done it before. Oh, see, I got reckless. Got full magic, and I seem to recall he drops a lot of magic as you fight him, so I should use my magic. I will will use it to avoid damage from his attacks because the magic gives you invincibility frames. Oops, shit. Well, I wasted that, but alright. I don't need the magic. There we go. Yeah, see, he gave me some magic back. Gives you health back as you fight him too. I'm sure we've all noticed that his health bar is armored, and we don't actually start damaging his health bar until we've knocked off all his armor, which is a nice little touch. I like when games add a little flavor to their game like that. Oops, see, I did not mean to do that. In case you don't know, which I doubt you won't. See, he's too far away. I'm gonna have to fight him a little bit on the ground to get that prompt back. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there's a sweet spot here you can use it. And there's also some kind of trick here that I've forgotten that I know I've used in the past where you can hit him twice with this thing. I want to say all you have to do is just pull the thing immediately again, but that doesn't work because he's gonna run up. Yeah, see, run over, hit me. So it's whatever. It's not that hard on, run without restriction. God damn it, without restrictions like this. Yeah, there's a sweet spot somewhere right around this cannon where you can hit him and he can't hit you back. Since, like, with the fully upgraded health bar, which I have almost fully upgraded health bar, to get it completely fully upgraded, you're going to have to use the secret place that gives you the extra extensions, which I will do. I think I actually could have gotten it earlier because I have the keys. Shit, I shouldn't have rolled there. That was stupid. Shit, that was stupid too. Should have used Poseidon's Rage. But the reason I hit the Cyclone Chaos, like I was saying before, is because it's the block and light attack button together. And so you're constantly blocking and then hitting light attack to start your combos. So I, at least, often end up accidentally using Cyclone Chaos. This boss is kind of long. As you can see, I haven't even started damaging his actual health bar. Since this game only has 3 bosses, and this one's in the middle, they draw it out. Yeah, like I didn't mean to do that. Cyclone Chaos hits a lot of times. I don't even know really how good of damage it is. It hits a lot of times. See how stupid I should have paid better attention. I keep forgetting that he can grab. I get complacent thinking I can block everything. No mana, so I'll try to block. I think he was fixing to grab me. I'm glad I knocked him back there. Alright, finally I can start damaging the boss. He dropped all the shit on the ground, which I'm gonna get. I can get a lot of damage out of that magic. And I have my rage. Is it worth using the rage? Probably not. This isn't that hard anyway. Ooh, shit. That took a shitload of health. I hope I don't die, because I was doing so well. Damn it. Shit, I shouldn't have done that. I should have kept what I was doing. I might have to start from the beginning. That pisses me off. Oh well, I'll get it. Alright, I imagine I should use some of it because he's going to drop orbs. Should not let them go to waste. Alright, I think if I damage him one more time, then he's going to get the prompt. Or I can grab him. If I'm not mistaken, this is, yeah. What, again, I told you with the weird grabbing in this game. Like, I've encountered it in the other games too, but this one is the worst. Let's see if I can get it back. There we go. At least he drops orbs every time. I don't really like doing the quick time events. Okay, I only have to do that like 3 more times and I can start damaging his extra health. The thing is, the boss doesn't really change that much. It's just like there are bosses that take this long. Not many, but there's some pretty long bosses. Like the Barbarian King has 3 phases. Although none of them is really that long. The fight against the Sisters of Fate is pretty long. But those fights change. Like, this one is just you beat him up, he runs to the back, you jump over the thing, you beat him up, he runs to the back, jump over the thing. He does deal a lot of damage. You see, I've been hit a few times. Very sloppy. Shameful display. Oh shit. Well, I'm gonna have to damage him again. I'll just wait up here. Fuck, I hit the goddamn button. Felt like I hit the button, did magic, but I guess I didn't. But whatever. Okay. Alright, hopefully I can get him this time. Only fight we can actually deal damage to the guy. Sorry, I don't have more to say. It's just the same thing over and over again. Well, he's almost dead, hopefully. This kind of reminds me of Persephone, like when I did my Pain Plus a long time ago, and I never actually beat Persephone. This was before, like, God Mode God had ever actually tried to do Chains of Olympus Thames Plus. So it had not been determined that Persephone was an exception, similar like to the clone battle from God of War 1, which is just so unfairly hard that even things like uh, a Pain Plus, the rules are lighter for that fight. Because doing it under Pain Plus circumstances is just, I mean, you have to hit her thousands of times. And if you make one or two mistakes, you're dead. That's true of other bosses, but Persephone is particularly difficult with how she positions herself and how you have to jump up to hit her. Alright, so it's been pointed out many times, but this room back here is not even close to large enough. Well, it's big enough, but there's not enough space to hold that big Minotaur back here. Like, maybe if this big thing was in here, it was just open, but that's how Jesus decided to make the game. Let's take a look at my upgrades. Oh, I can get Poseidon's Rage. If that works out perfectly, because I'm fixing to get Army of Hades, which is really, really powerful. And even though, I'm getting pretty far into the game, you don't get Army of Hades until way towards the end. And I'm just not, like, I'm going to be spending all the red orbs I get for the rest of the game towards Army of Hades as top priority, because it's really good against Ares. And I want to upgrade the Medusa's Gaze, because it's really good, especially in some of these upcoming fights. But I'm going to have to go with the tried and true Army of Hades. If I was going to upgrade Medusa's Gaze, it would have been better to do it much earlier. It only takes like 3,000 orbs. And a lot of the best places to use it. See, Kratos has a jump kick move that reminds me a lot of Dante from Devil May Cry's jump kick move with the Cerberus, not the Cerberus, the Ifrit and those other light gloves from 3. And I don't know how to do it. I've seen people do it. In fact, there's a lot of of all the times I played the God of War games, I don't experiment enough with the different kind of moves, because a lot of them feel very unsafe. Like, I just stick to your basic square, triangle, kind of shit a lot more than, say, like, I know this move, I forget what it's called, it's really useful in a lot of places, but because it's kind of dangerous, because as you can see, like, Kratos sticks himself in the ground and is completely open. That's why I say it's kind of unsafe. So stuff like this, just your basic combos, you can cancel out almost any time into a roll or a block. Something like this is not, well, that's jumping attacks is kind of different, but you can't block while you're doing it. I don't use a lot of moves in general where you can't cancel into a block comfortably. Army of Hades. Even at level 1, completely unupgraded, it's very strong. I'll show it to you. But it tends to get in the way. That's the big drawback, is like, it gets in the way of stuff. And there have been many times when I used Army of Hades, and it ended up preventing me from seeing an attack that I should have saw coming. Like I have eye disorder, which makes it difficult for me to see certain things, and it's generally not an issue. But when there's a bunch of stuff like the Army of Hades on screen, so I'm trying to get some collisions here. When there's a bunch of stuff like the Army of Hades on screen, it can make it very hard for me to see, and that contributed to all the difficulties I had before in that fight against the centaurs, where you have to kill them in a circle, which has always been to me like one of the absolute hardest fights in this first game. And for me personally, one of the hardest fights in the whole series. Is that one where you have to kill the centaurs in the circle. Alright, so going back here, I think this is the right way. I've got the thing that I need to unlock the thing. Okay. So now we have to turn the things, which is pretty tedious, and I also need to turn the other thing to get the thing that upgrades your life and magic meters and gives you experience. Yeah, I'm bad at this. This puzzle, it's kind of a puzzle. Where you have to turn the thing and point it at the door. You have to like make the 3 doors one, which isn't that hard, I don't think. But it's annoying because it takes a long time. That one's not lined up. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. In the middle. Hell, maybe this one too. I don't know. Okay. So I need to find the turner on this outside ring before I can do the puzzle to get to the upper part and the last part of this section of the game. I have to turn this until I get to the door where I can put the muse keys in. Which, like I said before, I think I could have actually done that earlier, and I just forgot. There's Kratos there. You can see him. In God of War 1, he has more of a blocky design. Smoothed him out some for 2. And I know at some point they added chain, like he has chains on his arms, obviously, but I know he has chains on his legs at some point too. And if you look closely, Ares has chains on his forearms and calves as well. I wonder if the Blades of Chaos are supposed to be a reference to that. They don't really go into that much detail. They just say they were forged in Hades. Alright, here's a place to put use keys. Even in the new God of War games, where Kratos has the Blades of Chaos, even though he shouldn't. At least for any, I don't see why he would, considering that he doesn't have them in God of War 2 or 3 or Ghost of Sparta. I mean, I guess you could say that when he becomes a God of War, he gains access to all of Ares' old weapons, including Blades of Chaos, but why would he, like, if he doesn't have them at the end of God of War 3, why would he have them later? And the thing about it is, those games are so bloated and filled with dialogue. They could have easily explained it, but they chose not to. It's just this big mystery. Um, so that's pretty bad writing, in my opinion. But it's no secret that I've strongly disliked the story in those games. They just spit in the face of the God of War veterans with their disrespect to the original games. Like trying to pass Kratos off like he's full on God, as if we don't know better. Like, give me a fucking break. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this play session. Thank you all for joining in. I will do another special episode in the future with my commentary, and if people like the commentary, I can do it every time. But thanks again.